to be a doctor, please apply MD and DO. And if you guys are like, oh, you always say that, that's not true, come talk to Rita and I, and we'll tell you some personal stories we have from other students.
And it's often not just another year of your income as an SUU student. Think about it as a year out of your practice environment, which is $200,000 or more if you take the extra year to apply or you don't get in this year. That's how expensive this extra year is for you.
Anyways, the residencies are merging for DO and MD schools. We anticipate there will be very little difference as we move forward in the future. Okay, so again, I get you guys, osteopathic schools actually teach their students more than allopathic medical schools do. So again, you guys, better to have choices, I think. If I was applying to med school, I would love to have a few osteopathic medical schools so my anxiety level would calm down. And then yes, later if you get into Penn State and you go there, great. You had a very good experience, you spent a little bit of money, you got to visit a few places, and that's still a good place to be. You guys, please spend the time to edit your personal statement and your experiences. Your application to a medical school should be perfect. Your application to PT school should be perfect. There should not be errors in your statement. There should not be grammatical errors. It should be the best work you've done. We've had medical schools call us and say, hey, is Joe Smith in your program? We're like, yeah, we have a Joe Smith in Rural Health Scholars. They're like, well, he must not have gone to the application workshop because his application is atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
So know that you guys, people are familiar with Rural Health Scholars, especially our in-state medical, PT, etc. programs. So guys, please take our advice. Okay, Rita's gotten students into medical school for 17 years now. Like, we're talking to them, we're going to the conferences. Please follow the advice we give you. So please edit those. You guys, I would call your letter writers. Finals week is over. If you haven't heard from Dr. whoever at SUU about your letter, I would chat with them. I'd pop by this week. Hey, how was your finals week? How was commencement? Have you written my letter of recommendation? Hey, please go check on those. Same with your healthcare providers. Hey, Mr. Doctor, insert person, have you written my letter of recommendation? I'm putting my application together this week, okay? If you guys still need letters, please get them put together sooner rather than later. You guys, if you need to take your entrance exam, you have time to do that, okay? You're applying early. If you've taken a test, you hate your score, secure another exam date down the road. You can update schools with your new score. So yes, please do retake your entrance exam if needed. You guys, generally our students take it 2 to 3 times. So it is very common to retake. I think if I had retaken the GRE, I would have done much better, but I didn't have enough time to. So hopefully you guys have enough time to retake your entrance exam. It should open up widely your options, okay? If you guys have talked to students, I know students who got a crappy score in May and studied 40 hours a week all summer and got a great score in August and got accepted. So I think a better MCAT or GRE or PCAT can override your application being a little bit later in the cycle, if that makes sense. If you guys are done at SUU, congratulations, you're good to go. If you guys are in your last year and you're taking classes, please finish strong academically. It is going to matter what you do your last year. You don't want to have a grade trend that's going up and up and up and then tanks your senior year. Okay, so please don't negate your coursework. And again, you guys, as hard as it is, we'll try to keep you interacting in this workshop, but please ask questions, pay attention, and re-watch the videos if you need to do that. Again, you guys, this is what I talked about. Schools are on rolling admissions. You'll see when applications open, interviews are starting. This is declining how many students get in. So guys, if I have 100 seats, you have 100 chances of getting in. Versus if you apply later and I only have 50 seats, you've literally cut your chances in half, okay? We'll talk a little bit about the verification process later, but you guys know that it is a whole system behind the scenes from the time you submit to the time schools actually get your applications. It can last 6 weeks or so in that time frame. So during that time, you can retake your entrance exam, you can be continuing to work in healthcare, all of those kind of things.
And you did say that you can apply to, like, some schools have rolling admissions, some don't, so you can apply to the rolling ones beforehand, and and maybe if other schools require something else.
Yeah, so I would just be cautious about deadlines. If a school has a deadline of February 1st, that still might mean most of their applications are in November. So that is accurate. Not all schools are on rolling admissions, so you can prioritize them that way, but you guys, ideally, you're submitting to all your schools early. Absolutely. Just know that, you know, they might not look at your application until January, something like that. Question?
So for like PT, it doesn't open until July.
Yep.
For your letters of recommendation, you just have them write them and submit it when it opens.
Correct. So if you guys have a letter writer who has your letter done, just make sure it's saved to their desktop on letterhead, ready to submit when that opens. That is correct. Yep. Good question. Good question. You guys, again, you're going to need all of these components to have a full application. You're going to need a transcript, your primary application, your letters of rec, your test score, all of that. You can check this on your CAS system. So log on and check this every day. Hey, has my letter of rec been received? Has my transcript been received? Am I in the verification process? And you guys should be able to do all of that, okay? But patience. Patience is a good skill to cultivate during this process. We're going to have a full session on transcripts, but I know some of you guys are nervous about this. So you're going to need transcripts from every school you got college credit from. Again, if it was SLIC, if it was concurrent enrollment, you will need that transcript, okay? For AP credits, it depends on your CAS system. So if you guys took AP courses, can you please just check with PTCAS or AMCAS or ADSAS and see what those rules are specific to them? I'm not sure because it varies. Some of them will give you credit for it. Some of them will want you to have taken it in college as well. For the most part, this is really old school. They physically mail them. So when you guys log onto your CAS system, you'll plug in, I attended Salt Lake Community College. It'll pull up a form that you need to physically take to your registrar's office. So if you're CASPA or AMCAS and they're already opened for you, you can do this today. You can actually walk over to SUU's registrar and request transcripts today. It might also be an online form. So you guys might be able to do it on your SUU portal today. This can be kind of frustrating because it's different for every school. Like Salt Lake Community College is different than Dixie, is different than SUU, is different than any other school you've attended. So you guys, it might involve like picking up the phone and calling them, and that's an okay thing to do. Okay. It will cost you a little bit of money. We talked about that earlier. Oh, this is shifting gears. So once you guys come to the app workshop, which you're here, you take your entrance exam and you physically submit your application, you are considered a Rural Health Scholars Mentor. You probably know these people because you've worked with them before. There are lots of perks to being a Rural Health Scholars Mentor. So if you guys actually apply, you are now our elite class, you're our senior level students, and we're going to ask for your help. So some of you are like, yeah, I meet with a mentor all the time, they're in the office, they staff the front desk, I have to be with them for University 3000, that is correct. If you want to be a paid mentor, you can do that. We call those peer mentors. I have the applications for peer mentors up here. So if you guys are curious what that position does, who that position is, we will need you to fill out the application. You will have to obviously apply, and then you need to turn those into Jessica Burke. It pays $10 an hour. So that's a pretty sweet gig. You could work anywhere from 2 to 10 hours a week. You would help us at the front desk. You would do peer mentor appointments. You'd go to the ELC. You do all kinds of stuff for us. So if you guys are glutton for punishment and want to work with our crazy office, that is a paid position. Applications are here. Turn them into Jessica. If you are not interested in working in the office or you already have a job, you are still expected to mentor other students in Rural Health Scholars. So we're going to say, hey, we need some mentors to help with Red Riot, or we need some mentors to help with Thunder U, or whatever that is, and you guys will volunteer your time to help us out. Talk about your experience in Rural Health Scholars. You can also help with programs like the Application Workshop, RHS Orientation, presenting in our 7 a.m. class, those kind of things. And you guys, please keep us updated on your journey. Where are you interviewing at schools? Where have you gotten into schools? Where are you struggling? Where can we help? Okay. As a benefit of that, we no longer will charge you the RHS fee. So you guys, your last year, you got plenty of stuff to pay for. So your $187.50 SUU RHS fee will no longer be applied to your account here. So that's good news, right? We just saved you $400. Apply to 4 more schools with that money. You guys don't have to take a seminar anymore. So University 3000 is optional as a mentor. That being said, if you guys want the credit, sure, you're welcome to add a seminar to your class schedule, but you no longer are required to do so. It is a pretty non-rigorous University 3000 upper division credit, so you're welcome to do that, but you no longer are required to do that. You guys can add this as a leadership activity on your application. So all of you pretty much automatically can say, Rural Health Scholars Mentor. I would literally pull up one of these and look what somebody else wrote about being a mentor. But if you guys want to write this down, I generally say you should put about an hour a week. So at 15-week semesters, you should put about 30 future hours as a Rural Health Scholars Mentor. I would say from this point through May of next year. Make perfect sense? Again, you guys, if you are paid with us, you'll do more hours than that. But for those of you all submitting applications in June, we probably won't know who our staff is yet. So you'll want to make sure you go ahead and put that. So you all get basically one free leadership activity just by being a Rural Health Scholars member. Say you're not in Cedar next year. Some of you might be like, that's great, but I'm not living in Cedar City. Still put it down. You guys, I might need help with a recruitment event in Salt Lake. I might need help with a health fair in Delta. Know that we can still, you might call and mentor a Rural Health Scholar student. So I would still put it, you can still be a mentor from afar. So again, mentors, volunteer basis. Peer mentors are paid, and there is an application process, and it is competitive. I usually hire about 3 to 4 pre-med, and then 1 or so of each other discipline. But you guys, it depends on demand. If I don't have a lot of pre-pharmacy students, we might not hire a pharmacy mentor. So talk to Jessica Burr if you guys have questions about that, but I might be able to answer for you also. Questions about being a mentor? Pretty sweet gig, huh? Pretty slick. One more thing to add on for your mentors, you guys. In the fall, we do lunch bunch. It's once a week. It's free lunch in the SUU cafeteria, and we talk about interview tips. So that's an additional perk of being an RHS mentor. So you can also do that. Anything to add about being a mentor? Okay, you guys know these people. They'll come in a few minutes and join us. Last minute things, you guys, and then we're going to do a break. If you guys, again, we'll always have food here. You guys are welcome to like take a lunch break, bring your lunch, all those kind of things. You guys, please just be sensitive of the space. Don't cause a ruckus. Things you can do today. You guys attend our presentations for today. Look into fee assistance programs. That's going to be super important to your journey. When I say this, I mean make sure you checked in with Amy or Rita for attendance. If you guys want the slides shared with you and you came in late, come see me over here and I will share the slides with you. If your CAS system is open, you can request transcripts today. Schools move slowly. So you guys, I would, if you're, yes, one of the systems that's open, PA or MD, I would request your transcripts now because it can take SUU a couple weeks to drag their feet. It can take the mail system a week to get there, so please do those sooner rather than later. You guys can start gathering your experiences and writing those. And again, you can chat with Sergeant Castro when he gets here at noon. Let's break for 10 minutes. Go pee, get a donut, ask me any questions you have, and then we'll do our panel.